Hi there, Sagittarius. It's Maria from the Tarot Shop here with your tarot reading for the month of November. Now, if you've not been to me before, I do a quick tarot message or a message from the tarot. It's basically an opportunity for the tarot to give you a message. And it's anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. This is an oracle deck. So you've got, this is the month I'm using the Crystal Alchemy Oracle. And I take one card there, which gives you the energy for the month ahead. It's almost like your super generator, it's a positive energy going through with you. And then 6 tarot cards. This is the Tarot of the Traditions. I will actually put the details of the decks I'm using below, and some of them are available in my shop. Well, that one definitely is, and if not, I'll put the link to the Amazon storefront if you love them. Okay, that fell out at me. Okay, so you need Tiger's Eye, Sagittarius, and that's about strength, determination and personal power. So that's the energy that's going there. Tiger's Eye is really quite easy to get hold of. So if you can get a piece, I would have it for the month of November. If not, then you have the energy of it's like the eye of the tiger, You have the eye of that Rocky movie. Not one of my favourites, I have to admit. But, okay, let's have what we got. So we got Sagittarius for the month of, sorry, I was doing it off screen there. Some people are quite funny. They like to see me shuffling. The cards flying everywhere. I do tend to ad lib. I do this ad lib. I don't rehearse it. So you get what you get, unfortunately. Okay, a couple of things I need to mention before I start is that Mercury is retrograde this month. I think she comes in about between the 5th and the 7th, so you can check out online when that is. And during a period of Mercury retrograde, we go over old ground. So we go over stuff again. And it's always a good idea to double check anything you have to sign. Okay. And any travel arrangements or anything like that, just double check everything when you've got Mercury retrograde. She makes us revisit things. And be cautious. And communicate properly. And we've also got a full moon in Taurus. So if you have Taurus as your moon sign, then this may be more, that may affect you a little bit more this month. Okay, right, Sagittarius. I'm pleased to see that something in your life that you weren't happy with, you have now taken charge. The Chariot is the card that says just do it. Don't think about it. You don't need to think about it. Just get on with it. And it looks as if it's with regards to something that was making you stuck. So you were stuck in something. And you've just decided to get on with it. So this could be that you've got a new job or something like that. And you've just decided to it wasn't making you happy. So you've just decided to do something about it. Or a relationship that wasn't quite working. And you just decided to do something about it. And this can be a friendship, not necessarily a romantic relationship for those that are in relationships and then panic when I say stuff like that. It's about something that's significant to you that you weren't quite pleased with. The Four of Cups is the card that says, that's not quite what I expected. So then you've decided to do something about it. The Chariot is the card that just gets on with it. And you are the one that's in charge. Nobody's doing anything to you. It's not being done to you at all. In fact, you're the one that's decided to just progress and move forward. And it's a very significant card with the Chariot because it means that you're strong again. So if you've been feeling weak and vulnerable and under the weather in any way like that, or downtrodden or anything like that, you begin the month by just going, do you know what, and in typical Sagittarian, I'm just going. I'm getting on with it and I'm doing it. Okay. And then you've got, you move into the energy then, and so you're getting on with it. The kind of like, what arises from that is that you're then in a situation where you're able to look at opportunities in your life. So you're going, okay, with the Page of Wands, you're asking the universe, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? Not what do I think about this, or how do I feel about this? But you're saying there's a messenger that will come that will tell you what you can do about it. But you're thinking, where am I going in life? What can I do? What direction should I take? And there is a section here where you've got 5 of Swords, which says that this card is a little bit around mentally. When this card comes in, I always say to people, it's like you think, because it's the Swords, that the only way you can get anything done in your life is if you do it yourself. And with that comes that feeling of isolation. You know, you think you're on your own with this and you're the only one that can do it because nobody can do it as well as you can. Or, yeah, it's all on you. And it's a thought process. It's not a reality. So I want to express that. I do need to say that your thought process around the fact that I'm on my own with this is not true. And it's just a thought process. Now, I'll move on to this in a second because this is a really quite important message from the Tarot. You just decided to get on it and you're saying to the universe, okay, well, what can I do with this? Where can I go? Because I don't want to be on my own, or can I go it alone? Or what happens if, you know, I have to do this alone? Or there's something connection around doing it solitary. So you're asking about that in the middle of the month. So it's kind of like, I'm doing it, but now I feel a little bit cut off. I don't quite know what to do with it. How can I take this forward? How can I make this grow? What opportunities is this going to give? So there's a lot of soul-searching questions about the decision that you've just made to just get on with it. So it's good, and it's going to kick up all of these opportunities, is what I want to say. And you're saying, but I don't know. This thought process about what now? You know, okay, so now I've done that. I feel a bit cut off, okay? But the Tarot's message is, it was the right thing to do. I can't even stress that enough. Whatever it is at the beginning of the month, it's the right thing to do because you really needed to surrender. The Hanged Man always sees things from a different point of view. So he just looks at life from a different perspective. You're not seeing it properly, you know, so you need to just look at things differently. And the Hanged Man here is saying, I feel that this is very much surrender, and surrender to justice. And you surrender to the justice around the fact that this is what you really ultimately need, and this is ultimately what you set in place, set in motion. So the Chariot is telling you this: you've got what you deserve, what you want, what you asked for. Okay, you need to see it from a different point of view and actually realize that this is absolutely the right place for you to be right now. Justice is restored. It's what you really wanted. It's what you asked, because something was you were a bit unhappy here. And actually now you get exactly what you want. These are 1, 2, 3 major cards here. So this tells me that November is a significant month for you before you move into your birthday. You might be end of Sagittarius. You might be the end of it. Yeah, it may be just at the end of the month or the beginning of next. November, December. So actually, this is exactly what you want. You've got the balance right. You feel in control. You've got the sword of truth here. You're standing in your power, or you're sitting on your throne. And actually, you just need to surrender to it and realize that actually it's not about control. And it's not about, you don't need all these other people around you and all this. Let's try and listen to Spirit a minute. So what is the message? So a message of reassurance around the fact that it feels as if you're going to have a moment where you're going to think, what did I do that for? It was okay. But okay is not great. Okay is not what you deserve. You deserve the stars, you deserve the moon, you deserve the world. And as a result of that, you just give into it. And when you give into it, everything turns out for the better. Everything suddenly becomes just and fair and right. So it feels a bit sticky. You got a bit of a moment where you're like, I don't know what I did there. I'm worried about being on my own here. But actually you surrender to it and it all turns out in the end. Justice is prevailed, and you've got the 8 of Wands, so you are going to be super busy. I don't know if you're changing jobs or something like that, but hopefully it will make sense to you. But you're going to be really busy doing lots of communications, taking charge of your finances, and you're going to create something. You're going to give birth to something new. You're going to have this wonderful creation where it's going to be plenty of abundance there. Okay, so I've got to stop turning cards, but I was feeling a bit. Knight of Wands as well, movement forward. So you really are at a major turning point, Sagittarius, in your life. And it's all what you have asked for. And it's what you have put in place and in motion at the beginning of this month. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. I've covered Mercury, I've covered Taurus. I'm just trying to remind myself of everything. And yes, enjoy the month. And happy birthday for the end of November or the beginning of December. And I will speak to you next month. Okay, take care then. Thanks very much for your time. Bye-bye.